So we're on live for live readings. We shall see if anyone joins us, and then we'll let everyone know what it's about. Yeah. Otherwise, I've got like not much to talk about. I feel a little bit tired actually. A little bit sleepy, a little bit on the sleepy side.
Oh, is it the heat or is it baby tiredness?
No. I just woke up early today. Well, actually, I didn't. I woke up around the same time, but I went to bed late, so I slept a little bit less. But I had a good sleep.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, hi, Monica. Thank you for joining. So you've probably noticed that we do live readings today. That's why we're on. If you have a question about career or spiritual path or just life path in general, some sort of a question that will help you maybe make a decision of some sort, then let us know in the comments. If anyone's watching from my Facebook group, as usual, please just state your name before your comment, because otherwise we can just see that it's a Facebook user without the name. So I've got angel cards and Mel has tarot. Is it your angel tarot as well today?
No, I have this one today. Can you see?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Tarot looks.
Get it so you can see it. Tarot.
No, it's actually a good picture.
Yeah, I like this one.
Okay.
Got some interesting images.
So Monica. Oh, sorry. I can hear you. You're a little bit quiet for me, but I think that's just my volume.
Might be mine. Hang on a sec. Let me just turn myself up.
So Monica. Sorry, I don't know what Monica. Sorry. So you're asking for a career reading on how will your work be? So you're wondering whether you should stay in your current job or have another opportunity coming? Do you mean like you're looking for another opportunity already? Is there something on the horizon and you're thinking about leaving? Is that the kind of question? Just to clarify. Because then I would pull a card for, would it be better if you stay, or would it be better if you were to take the other opportunity? I can hear myself a little bit, Mel.
Sometimes that's if my volume's up too much. How about that?
Testing. No, I can't hear it now.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not sure if my current job is stable, and at the same time I'm looking for something better. Okay, awesome. So we'll start with.
So I understand that you're not necessarily having anything specific on your mind. I'm just asking because then I'll know what to ask. It's not that you have anything specific on your mind in terms of a new job. It's just wondering whether you should start looking. Okay.
And we'll pick up Cassie's question afterwards as well.
Okay.
All right then. So,
okay. So right now, I'm asking about whether you should stay. I just want to see kind of what that will tell. I can start if you, Mel, still.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. because I had a couple of jumpers, and when I was asking whether you should stay, what the main message here is about raising your vibration. And that, to me, that means that obviously there is something happening around you. As you said, it's not stable, but I feel that it's just because the job is not stable, it doesn't mean that it will have a negative effect on you. And I feel like there is just perhaps a little bit too much fear around that situation, that it might affect you in a way, that you don't want it to affect you. And you're kind of almost maybe thinking of looking for something else out of fear that looks like won't come to pass, really, because it looks like you like your job. It seems to me you have a yes card as the strength, in a strength position. So apart from what's happening, the job itself seems to me like you're enjoying it, and it would be actually quite nice for you to stay. You would enjoy staying. I don't know. Let me know if that's right. You would rather stay than look for anything else. And I feel like also you're perhaps developing quite well in that job as well, because you have the manifestation card as your heart's desire, or what your heart is telling you. So that kind of, all of these cards so far, those three are telling me that where you are is actually something that you wanted to do. Perhaps for a long time you're actually doing what you would like to do, leaving this stability on the side. And yeah, the only challenge is the sacred plan here. So that just tells me that perhaps maybe it's just, it's not exactly, maybe, is it because of that instability that you're not sure that you will be able to achieve your goals within that job? Oh, okay. So you're staying for money. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like, perhaps the sacred plan card is just saying that there just isn't a very good plan behind what you're trying to achieve in there. I don't know. I mean, you say that you're stressing, but is it the job itself, or is it the environment within the job? Because I feel otherwise the cards are actually quite positive for the question of staying. It could be that there's something else that might come in if you were just to look after maybe your I don't know, ways of I don't know, it sounds really silly. I just want to say it, like, not stressing at your job, but obviously I don't know what's happening. Maybe there's something that you could do in the background that will just help you stay a little bit calmer, and perhaps something else will come up for you. That's what I have.
Okay, so Monica, I just looked at some cards for you in terms of, so I've done the same with Kat, rather than, I've sort of focused on your current job, and then I've pulled in a couple of cards for what happens if you go as well. So staying in your job, there's somebody around you in your job that's influencing your decision to go. Now, this is a person who, it could be a boss, it could be a senior, it could be the owner of the business, it could be a leader. There's somebody around you who is very logical, very rational, in a position of authority. Now, this person might come across as quite cold and distant, because we've got the King of Swords card here, and this is somebody who's very rational, very serious, very formal, potentially, no fluff, no pleasantries. This might not be somebody that you would warm to necessarily. And what I'm seeing is, with the Four of Cups, is feelings of discontent and being fed up. Now, it might be that it's with this person, or it might be with the job, but there's something about the job that you're fed up with, whether it's the type of work, whether it's somebody, your boss, that you're not wanting to work with, that's causing a feeling of discontentment and causing you to be starting to think, okay, well, what should I do here? Because when we start to think, am I in the right job? there's a trigger for that, because if you really liked your job, you wouldn't be asking. You just wouldn't. You'd be happy. But is it the job, or is it somebody within the job? That's what I think you need to focus on in terms of, are you wanting to leave because of a person or because of the work you're doing? I'm not seeing anything changing for you in your job anytime soon. I don't know if you can see these cards, but this is the this is the Hanged Man. This basically means nothing's happening. This was when I was asking about security and stability. So I don't think anything's going to change in your job. I don't see it getting better in terms of you enjoying it, but equally it looks stable. And I pulled an extra card just to confirm. So it doesn't look like there's any redundancies on the cards or anything like that. So it's stable. But stable is one thing, but do you enjoy it? That's the thing. So if you're not happy, okay, so the bosses don't help. So yeah, I don't think the job is going anywhere. I think it's stable, but you're obviously not happy there, and I don't see that changing. I don't see that changing at all. I think you're just going to get more of the same. Now, when I pulled some cards about leaving, really interestingly, have you ever considered potentially setting up your own business? Because I've got the Queen of Wands here. This always comes up for me when it's talking about like a light worker, like somebody who has like a spiritual business. Just for me when I pull this card. So I don't know if you have been thinking about setting up a business, but whatever you come to do if you leave, you've got the Page of Pentacles. This represents a new job with money. So if you were to start looking around or thinking about setting up on your own, there is an opportunity there for you, which I do feel with the Judgment card is something that you should explore. This is all about truth and clarity and the reason things are happening. If you're feeling discontent, that's your intuition trying to tell you something. So don't put pressure on yourself if you need the money, but just, I would start to look around, consider your options, work out what you want to do. Don't just think, oh, I've got to find the same sort of work. If you're not enjoying the work, you could learn a new skill, try something different. But I don't see that feeling of discontent going anywhere anytime soon. Much as the job is stable, it's just not lighting your fire.
Yeah. Try not to take that what you say, not enough knowledge was passed on to you and it's stressing you out. Yeah, that's what I kind of was thinking about. It's not necessarily maybe the job itself, it's like either unpreparedness or because of someone. But yeah, I just think just take a deep breath and just do your best, because I feel if you do, it will all work out. It will work out. Yeah, just yeah. Sorry, it's that one that I was reading.
Yeah, and we do have to pay bills and money and stuff, don't we? So there's no need to make any quick decisions on it. But yeah, and if you would like to transition to light work, you can absolutely do it. That won't be an overnight thing, because like you've said, money wise, you've got to sort of stick at what you're doing for now. But maybe that bringing in something new will give you that spark in your belly, that excitement that means you can sort of put up with a mundane job because you've got something else there to focus on for the future.
Okay, so we had Cassie, who is back. Just gonna show.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome, Monica. I hope that helped.
Okay.
It's always interesting when we get this question, because it's the same thing that with Monica. If you're wondering if it's the right one for you, there's a reason for that. And when you're in the right job, because you wouldn't even think about doing anything else, because it just flows beautifully. So if you're feeling like, is this what I should be doing? That's your intuition giving you a little nudge that maybe you need to look around a little bit. So let's have a look. That's not to say you're in the wrong career. It might be that you can take what you've learned and position it into something else.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pull some cards for you, Cassie, asking about your strengths and your talents that you have, and then it's kind of like, you know, because we all have all different kinds of um, talents, and we can use those in many jobs, really. So I guess it would be more of an inquiry, this is what comes up, and then therefore do you feel like you could pursue those things where you are at right now? So let's see. So the first card that I had, by the way, is a card about passion. So I feel, Cassie, that you are, it has to be something that you're passionate about. I feel like there might be perhaps a lot of fire maybe in your chart, like your astrological chart. Maybe there's something in particular that that you feel that you're being drawn to. Do you have any hobbies? Do you have anything that you're doing maybe outside of your job that really lights up the fire in your belly? Perhaps if you're not, then maybe it's just time for you to actually ask yourself that question. So it just says life is meant to be felt, don't hold back. So, that kind of tells me that's the first clue. Is there even a chance for you to, to feel that fire? Is there anything about the job that you're doing that could have this potential? Because, sometimes things like that, they don't come in straight away. Then you have a transformation card also. So I feel like that's possibly talking about you going through a transformation, but also your capacity to sort of that kind of like strengthens that passion message for me here. Is there some sort of a passion that you have in the topics of transformation, whether it's human transformation, psychological transformation, or some sort of art? I don't know. I feel like perhaps there is something that might want you to make an impact in the world. But you also are you have earth and ground. So I would say that you're very good in planning, organizing, being grounded. So that's such a good skill to have, both with that transformation, because that just means that you could really transform something, someone or something, whether it's a company in a sense of, what's the word? Like, even if it's in corporate setting, right? There are a lot of changes, transformations. Do you feel like that's something that you would be interested in doing? Because you have the organizational skills, you're very grounded, and you have, good head on your shoulders. And also the third card, it says take charge and action. And that card reminds me of, people that can take charge. So kind of like being in the role of whether it's a manager, a leader, someone who's leading a group, or at least someone who's able to take charge independently of others. So kind of things when it comes to, for instance, because I've been working in corporate setting. So those are the examples that come to my mind. There are many, for instance, teams that deal with change within the company, and there are individuals that work independently, but they all work towards some sort of a big change, and they need these organizational skills and, being very structured and using those sort of skills and talents to then create some sort of a transformational change, right? So let's just see. I'm just going to have a look at your comments. So you're a Leo rising. Well, that I'm not surprised about the take charge and action then. And you've been going through spiritual transformation. Yeah, when you're going through spiritual transformations, oftentimes that leads us towards something, but it's not an instant thing. So it kind of, I feel like all of those qualities that I just mentioned, it would be good if you were to just have a little think as to where you would like to put that energy. Because like I say, I mean, when it comes to jobs, there are so many. Is it a business? Is it a job? You know, what is it that you really want to do? And where could you put those qualities to work? So I hope that helps in some way, because those are, I just wanted to point out the things for you to just think about when it comes to your talents and your strengths. And then hopefully that will take you, it will give you some ideas.
Okay, so Cassie, I've pulled a few cards for you as well. And I was asking about where are you currently at? Why are you feeling like this? What's happening for you at the moment? And I'm seeing that you're kind of, it's like you're waiting for something to come in. You know, you're just ticking along and, you know, feet on the earth, because this is another very earthy card that I'm looking at, waiting for something to come in. And it might be that you've been sending out thoughts to the universe about, what should I be doing? Is there something else? And you're kind of waiting for something to be brought to you. And actually, that's quite a good tactic, is to say to the universe, show me what I could be doing for my highest good, and that is part of my soul path, part of my destiny, and why I'm here. Bring me people, situations and events, courses, books, jobs, anything. Bring things to me and put them in my path to help me to fulfill my destiny, so that I feel like I'm on the right path, because I feel like the path I'm on is perhaps reaching a dead end. And you're very much called with the High Priestess card here. This is suggesting a lot of intuitive and psychic energy within you. And actually, interestingly, you're a Pisces, which I think this card might connect to Pisces actually. Pisceans are known for being incredibly intuitive. So tap into that intuitive energy that you've got within you and feel into what it's trying to tell you, because I do feel like you're quite closely connected when it comes to your intuition. And I heard Kat mention, I was sort of focusing on the cards, but kind of listening a little bit as well. And Kat was talking about finding things that light you up, finding things that bring you passion. And I've very much got that as well with one of the cards here. And it's full of red, which is all about passion and going and getting what you want. And with that Leo rising, that would tie in with that as well. So find something that really lights you up, because otherwise, if you're doing something that doesn't excite you, you're going to find yourself drained. It will affect your mood and everything. With Leo in your rising sign, you need to be doing something that lights you up and brings you excitement. You've got a lot of fire in your birth chart, so you definitely need to do something more exciting to you. Now, there's a couple more questions I asked. Is there anybody around you who can help you by giving advice, maybe, or by maybe mentioning a job they've seen or a course or something? There's somebody around you who is very strategically minded, very analytical, very logical, a bit like the person I mentioned in the last reading. Somebody who is has a business head, business minded, very clever person, very intelligent, and very good at strategy and planning. And this person is around you in your life. So if there's somebody that meets that description, have a chat with them about it and see what they come up with. They might have the contacts that you need. And then finally, in terms of your strengths and your skills, what can you make best use of in order to find what lights you up? I heard Kat mentioning organising skills and being very structured. Well, I've pulled the Justice card, which is just exactly the same sorts of things. This is about somebody who's very balanced, very fair, very logical, very grounded, and can see both sides of an argument. This is somebody that would be good at mediation, somebody good working in the law, somebody good at seeing the full picture and making sure everything's balanced and just and even and fair. So this is a real strong strength of yours, which is complete contrast to the intuitive side as well. And yet the two of them work incredibly well together when you've got both that strong rational side and that strong intuition as well. So it might be worth considering your skills that you've got, writing them all down and looking at how to make the best use of the skills you've got, but in a way that brings you that passion and excitement. And then talk to the people around you as well, to feel like you've probably got quite a strong network of people who, if you mentioned it to them, would be able to spark some ideas in you as well. So I hope that helps, Cassie. Thank you, Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but that's really sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put that up.
Thank you very much, Facebook user. Yes, sorry, we can't see your name, unfortunately. Oops. Oh, Teresa. Yes, no, we can't see names, unfortunately. So thank you for joining us. If anyone else is watching and has a question, please let us know and we'll pull a card for you. We have another 12 minutes. It just jumped a minute. So we'll still be staying until 6 UK time, that is, of course. So also just to let you all know, we do come on and do lives most of the Thursdays. So at least 3 Thursdays in a month. So you can join us for mini readings. And also, if you're interested in finding out a little bit more information about what we offer, there are links in the description to our website where you can book longer readings if you want to dive a little bit deeper into maybe a question that you had today or any other question that you might have about your life. So Teresa, I'm guessing that's still Teresa asking. Would like a card on career, please. So what's the question about your career then, Teresa? If you could just let us know exactly. Are you looking to change? Are you looking to start something? Do you have anything specific, anything in particular in mind? Maybe you're thinking about the specific career, but you're not sure whether you should move in that direction. Oh, sorry, Claudette. Thank you. Sorry, because it only tells us that it's Facebook user. Where do we see your career path going? So that kind of sounds to me, Claudette, as if you're not exactly where you would like to be. Is that correct? Are you thinking about possibly changing, or whether if there's any change coming up on the horizon where you are now? Just want to clarify as to what I'm asking the cards. Does it feel like it's just going nowhere right now? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Because I'm feeling like you're kind of like, well, where is it all even going? Because I'm kind of bored. So let's see. So let me just start with this card. So the card that I got for you, it talks about clearing your vibes. So your vibration, your energy, clearing your energy. This is an angel prayer card. So there is a little, prayer on there to Archangel Metatron. And it says, thank you, Metatron, for clearing my energy field. And I feel like in relation to your question, this card is coming up because you lack clarity in where you're going, what you're meant to be doing, because there's too much junk, I want to call it, in your energy. So do you have any practices that you use to clear your energy from other people, other events? Because I feel like it's almost like it's almost like you potentially are doing everything and anything, or the total opposite, where you just don't feel the motivation to do anything at all. But it's kind of related to, how do I explain this? It's like it's because you can't find your center, if that makes sense. Like, I just feel like this clarity, you might be lacking in this clarity because you don't really know what it is that you want. By finding your center, that's what I mean. It's like, well, what do I really, really want? Like, what makes me happy in life? Where do I want to go? What's bringing me joy? And it might be that if you start digging and answering these questions, you might actually find out that maybe, I don't know, the job that you're in isn't actually that bad. It's just maybe there's something that you can change within it that will make it better, because there's just too much expectation maybe that you're putting on yourself as well. I just kind of like, I'm not even, I almost have trouble explaining it, because I feel like you just need to clear a little bit. Maybe go for a Reiki treatment, for example, if you haven't been doing that. Because there's just too much of other people's energy within your field that's just creating all of these like clouds, I want to say. And one more card, whilst I was talking to you, I just want to give you one more because I feel it might help. It's Archangel Jeremiel, and he is the Archangel of forgiveness. And it says, "Thank you, Jeremiel, for helping me understand the process of forgiveness." So perhaps that cloud, that's something that's creating this murkiness and lack of clarity, is to do with something in the past, some sort of forgiveness, something that you need to forgive, whether it's to yourself or someone else. That's just a little extra on the side for you. I hope that helps.
Okay, so Claudette, I've pulled a few cards as well for you. And I was asking about what will happen if you don't leave your current job and you don't make any changes? What's the guidance there? And so obviously you've got 100% free will. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, and your spirit team won't tell you, well, you should do this or you should do that. That's entirely up to you, but they can guide you on what's going to be more in line with your destiny and what you're here to achieve in this lifetime. And what they're encouraging you to do is to seek out a mentor. Now, this mentor, I mean, this could be somebody who can talk to you about careers in general, but I feel with this that you're being encouraged to talk to people who do different jobs that would excite and interest you, and talk to them about how they got there. This is what I'm feeling with this card, is actually that you need to just start looking around for the things that you enjoy, not necessarily in a job capacity, but just start exploring the things that really, really excite you, and then find people that work in those industries and ask them, what is it that you do? How did you get into it? And just pick their brains and get some information from them. There's a lot of helpful people around out there, and sometimes we can go over and over things in our own head and get very overwhelmed and confused. And yet there are people who we can just talk to and say, well, I like a bit of what you're doing in your job. How did you get into it? And then talk to other people as well and sort of put the feelers out there. I do feel like if you stay in your job, you are going to be presented in the near future with lots of options, because we've got the 7 of Cups card here. So this is options, loads of different options, things to consider, which is very good, but it's a blessing and a curse when you see this card. It's wonderful to have lots of options, but equally they can cause a bit of overwhelm, because then you're like, oh, I don't know which way to go. But that's okay, because it's better to have options than not have any. So that's actually very good. Also, if you stay put where you are, there will be a period of time coming where you are feeling quite unsettled, anxious. With the Moon card, this is when unconscious fears and things come to the surface. But they're always here to tell us something. So there's always a lesson in that when that does happen. So don't fret over that. But there is something that's making you feel a bit uneasy and uncomfortable. Let that come to the surface and let that come out, because that is the catalyst for change. When we go through that experience, that's what puts us on the path to making a change to make us happy again. And then finally, just a little bit of guidance is to get strategic. So plan your next move. You don't have to do this right now. Start putting the feelers out there. Find this person, this mentor to talk to about what they do in their job. And when you start to pick up on things and you feel like, oh yeah, I want to go in that direction, that's when you need to get a bit of a plan in place. Start to sign up to some job sites, start to talk to the right people, ask the universe to bring you the right people, so that you can find your dream job that makes you happy and that fulfills your purpose in this lifetime. So at that stage, you need to start getting a plan together. But for now, just put the feelers out there and try and expand your circle of friends and your network to people who you meet and you think that's what I want to be doing. I want to do what that person does. And then you'll get that clarity that you need.
Okay. So we also have Ruwen Geronimo here. If you have a question, Ruwen, please let us know about your career or spiritual path. And there are, because we're almost done. So unless you ask a question, we won't know what you're looking for guidance, what you need guidance for. You're most welcome, Claudette. I hope it helps.
Yeah, I've just seen the comment about that you've got a mentor, so that's awesome. Good stuff. Tap into that.
Yeah, and it's very combining with what I said about the energy, it's very possible, like what Mel was saying, you'll be able to find that clarity with that mentor if you just also clear that energy that I was talking about, and perhaps it will suddenly be a little bit more positive, the outlook. Okay, so when you're asking, you would like to know your spiritual path. So I suppose, spiritual path can entail many things. So I guess we could ask maybe what to focus on. That, Mel, do you think you can have a look in tarot to see what would that?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask what you need to know about your spiritual path and see what comes up. And just see if I can interpret it.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit vague, but I'll see what comes up, because with tarot questions and oracle, the more specific the question, it's usually more specific the answer. But we can do a little bit more sort of general and just see what comes up with guidance. What do your guides want you to know right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask, what's the most important thing? What's the number one thing for you to focus on right now in relation to your spiritual path? Oops.
Okay, I'm just going to make a start because I pulled a couple of cards as well. So in terms of what guidance do your guides have about your spiritual path, you're being encouraged to invest in your spiritual path a little bit more. This isn't saying that you're not doing that, but this is just to put a bit more time into it, put a bit more energy into it. So if you are somebody who meditates, if you're somebody who does yoga, if you're somebody who is trying to get into breath work or Kundalini energy or anything like that, it would be valuable to invest quite a bit of time in doing that. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, which can be about investing money, but you don't need to necessarily put money into it, but you do need to put time and energy into it to get fruitful results. And I've also got the Nine of Cups for you, which is just reminding you to actually enjoy it as well. So sometimes this can come up if we get a bit stressed out about it and think, oh, what should I be doing, or overthinking it. And actually, this is just to remind you that, just enjoy where you're at the moment, enjoy investing in it, and don't forget to bring in, with the Nine of Cups, for me, bringing in that gratitude practice as well, which can sometimes help to lift our vibration, which helps us with all areas of our life, but particularly on our spiritual path. The more we can raise our energy, raise our vibration, the more we can tune into our intuition, to our spirit guides. So a great way to raise your vibration is with a regular gratitude practice.
Okay. So the cards that I have for you, Wen, and in regards to your question as to what is the number one priority, kind of, when it comes to a spiritual path, I have a card of trustworthy friends and expressing your creativity. So that tells me that it's, it's time that you found the right people within your network with whom you can express your creativity, whatever that is for you, somewhere perhaps that you can really be yourself. Maybe right now the people that you're surrounded by are not exactly understanding you fully, and it might be, you know, making you feel a little bit uncomfortable or blocked from things. So just, spread your horizons. Have a look online. A lot of times we find our tribe online if we don't have anyone around us right now within the local area. And it will be important for you to just be able to express your creative side within some sort of a network, within a network of friends, somewhere where you can really feel comfortable about being yourself. So I hope that helps. Okay.
So we have got a question from Teresa, and she did ask it a bit earlier. So I will just pull a couple of cards quickly for Teresa, and then we're going to have to make that our last one for this evening. So Teresa, spiritual path. So interestingly, I know that you do lots of spiritual work. I am seeing maybe feeling a little bit weighed down at the moment. So it might be that you're doing too much, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it at the time, or we feel like, oh no, everything's fine. But just watch that, because sometimes when we're trying to do a little bit of everything, and maybe we're being pushed and pulled in different directions, and this person wants a bit of us, and this person wants a bit of us, and family need us, and we're trying to get work done, and we're doing a course, and we're doing this, that, and the other, and it can quite quickly change and become a little bit overwhelming, and that's when it's not so much fun. So just watching out for that energy potentially coming in for you. And forewarned is forearmed, so if you know that it could be coming in, you can think, right, okay, I'm just going to ease up a little bit. So just watching your energy levels, I feel like you need to do at the moment. And also got the Hermit card here. And I don't know if you already meditate. If you do, it's a call to do it more. If you don't, it's a call to start a meditation practice. The Hermit is all about introspection and going within, shining that light within ourselves to find the answers that we have. The Hermit is about tapping into that inner wisdom. It's more about that inner knowing than it is about like the psychic side. So spend a little bit more time in that solitude and introspection. And actually also, if you do spend a bit more time alone, it might prevent some of that feeling of overwhelm that could be coming in by people demanding quite a lot of you.
Okay, so Teresa, I also pulled one card for you, and just let me know if it's right, because as I was shuffling, I felt like there is something that you perhaps feel that is not working out the way you're expecting it to, or you would like it to work out. Maybe you've thought that there's a set goal that you need to achieve, and then it's kind of like not exactly going in that direction. And if that's the case, the card for you is the card of Archangel Azrael. He's the Archangel of Change and Transition. And there are actually a couple of things here, because I feel like, one, there is some sort of a change that maybe wants to come in, but maybe you have your sight set on something specific and you're maybe not seeing that Spirit is trying to direct you somehow somewhere different, because there are some things that you need to complete. There is something, this is a card of death and rebirth as well, if we were to compare it to tarot. So something needs to go before something else can come in. So perhaps you are too preoccupied with things that you thought you are meant to be doing, and you're not letting other things come in. So just let that transition happen by just letting go of whatever your preconceived what's the word? Preconceptions? Is that even a word? Preconceived.
Yeah.
Preconceived ideas are of where you're meant to be going, or how it's meant to look like, because just because someone does it in a certain way doesn't mean that it should be exactly the same for you. And as I know that you're obviously speaking to Spirit, Archangel Azrael, you can ask Archangel Azrael to help you with that. And one last thing before we go, Archangel Azrael is also the archangel that helps souls transition on the other side. So that speaks to me mediumship as well, if that was something that was on your mind. If you can work on that, if you haven't, if you've been developing that recently at all. Okay. Yeah, so perhaps if you haven't had the time to continue developing mediumship, speaking with loved ones on the other side, then Archangel Azrael can also help you with that development. So that's that. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your questions. We have gone slightly past the time, but we hope that you found some clarity today. And yeah, we'll be back next week, most likely.
Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and then you'll get notified when we go live.
Yes, exactly. So if you're on my Facebook group, please put the notifications on. If you're watching from YouTube, then also put the notifications on, because then I do schedule these broadcasts early on and you'll know when we are live again. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. We shall see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.